I am immobilized, not panic-stricken, but shocked out of sense. I can still feel the smack of the concrete. As the trees move, the concrete comes. As the concrete moves away, the trees come. I am a ball in a tennis court. That's all I am. Welcome back to the more relaxed Daniel's Nemesis podcast, reading XBook, Chapter 21, Feel Ginger's Pain, and Chapter 22, William Seeks Vengeance. XBook. Well, we all have childhood dreams. I wanted to be an author. Bored one vacation when doing my A-levels, I decided to write a book about an alien invasion right after the First World War. Going to university to study film, I got into art cinema, and I rewrote my adolescent book with added surrealism. Lots and lots of it. As much as I could. This is the product of that. Did I try to get it published? Yeah. Was it? No. 15 years after last putting it down, I am here. I am reading this out to you, the internet. Each episode, I read out a chapter or two of my book. Previously, I would then analyze the chapter, looking at it structurally, how the characters were fleshed out, or rather weren't, as well as some other issues that would be relevant to that chapter. I don't do that now. You'll have to listen back to old episodes to find out why. Anyway, what's happened so far? The Trascons, abandoning their dying planet, have travelled for almost a millennia to get to the nearest habitable planet, Earth. Realising that humans are advancing faster than they predicted, a strategy was devised to invade. The first wave of the invasion was bravely stopped by fighter pilot Ginger Jeeves after he was able to obtain one of the alien fighter craft. William, leader of the Trascons, who has a bit of a soft spot for Earth, has taken the opportunity to go down to find out what happened to his fighter craft. Whilst there, Ginger warns William away. As William returns to the mothership, Ginger is preparing to also go into space. Just remember, this is fiction, always fiction. Logic is as logic does. Chapter 21, Feel Ginger's Pain. I come running into the flight lieutenant's office. Now there is a throbbing. It's there, though I guess I don't notice it. But slowly it comes, a force that just won't be reckoned with, growing. And then I do feel it. Nausea, seasickness, as I begin to feel disorientated. I feel unstable, so I go to sit down, but my legs are beginning to wobble as I move to the nearest seat. They feel empty, lacking the energy to get me anywhere. As I stumble, I manage to fall into the seat, the world ever so slightly spinning around me. But I'm at that stage where I can neutralize it by staring at a fixed point. I stare at a wall, as fixed as you can get, and as I get it to stop spinning by keeping it within the same space, slowly it begins to stop. It's still. It's moving. Not around, towards me, coming forward before retreating. Backwards and forwards with a slow pulse, it gets closer each time, and the momentum is building again. Backwards and forwards, backwards and coming towards more and more, more and more. It's picking up speed, and it keeps coming closer before moving away until it's about to hit me. It really will hit me. As I put up my hands defensively, I wrench my eyes away from the wall, where they seem rooted, and focus on a window. At first, it's relief, But now the window's doing it with the same intensity. It's actually hitting me at this point. I can feel the slam, the slam, the slam, the slam as it hits me. It hurts a lot. I can't even see it now. I've got my eyes closed, but it's hitting me. And now it's got a sting to it, a hard sting, like a concrete slap. It's hitting my face. I can't open my eyes due to fear, but I feel that if I can understand what's happening to me. All I can see is a colour. I can't even work out what colour it is. It's grey, or has become grey. And as my focus adjusts, I can manage to get glimpses, just ever so short glimpses, of the concrete that is hitting my face. At some point, I have fallen over so that the window has become the cold, hard floor outside of the building. The smack is still hurting me, and I start screaming out for it to stop. Stop! I manage to screw myself up into a ball, and in doing so, I turn onto my back to take the pain away from my face. Just the back of my head now, which has a hard, dull thud, more unbearable than the hard, stinging slaps to my face. I can see sky now, the blue sky, and I can see clouds. I wish I could say that they were puffy and white, but they are as hard and as black as the cold concrete beneath me. But the clouds do not come as much as I dread them coming. This is not calm, just a fateful dread. I begin to take in the trees, which have exactly the same swishing backwards and forwards momentum of everything else. I cannot but admire its gracefulness. No momentum is lost, just a swiftness, a graceful air as it sways, swings even, backwards and forwards. The branches hurt, ripping at me, leaves smacking me as would hands, branches hitting with the force of an iron bar, trunks with the force of a train. The clouds in the sky, however, are still, calm. I can feel something within me, a shaking, but I am not physically shaking. This is the shake of 1,000 neurons fired into action, the adrenaline pumping round my body, the emotions finally stirring after a lifetime as I am frightened, screaming stop, and it never will. I am immobilized, not panic-stricken, but shocked out of sense. I can still feel the smack of the concrete. As the trees move, the concrete comes. As the concrete moves away, the trees come. I am a ball in a tennis court. That's all I am. I am pulled up. Pain that I thought I could feel comes in the form of a slap, a real slap. The slap of a human being who is shouting at me, and with the slap comes the noises I thought I could hear, but I now know not to exist. What does exist are the words of the man shouting, calm down. The slaps still come, but from the man, the other world disappearing with each actual bit of pain. Now I am frightened. Not of this man, but what has happened. I cry. I cry and fall to the floor. The man is calmer now. Can I help? He gets me a cup of tea. It's a cliché, but a cliché I am more than willing to accept, to hold on to. To drink the tea acts as a placebo, calming me down. A placebo because right now, I can believe that the tea really will calm me down. Of course, the caffeine and sugar helps, but not so much as psychologically. I get up now that I am calm. I pass people. A girl is crying. No, it's a he. But he gets me crying as well. A girl is laughing. She makes me laugh. Someone is silent. I'm silent. Someone looks shocked. I feel shocked, and so on. I have to walk away from where I was as quickly as possible. I can put the past behind me, but I know that it will always come back in some form to be relived somehow. And it does. Everyone is talking about it. When I watch the pictures, it seems that they are all news items talking about it. Newspapers, books, all have it in depth. The world is not yet ready to let go, or rather, that I am not, no matter how deeply shocking it is. I long for Dee Dee's hand, but as I think about Dee Dee, she becomes you, Holly. These are not thoughts. They are feelings, instincts, the beginnings of thoughts as my mind tries to grasp some sense before the next thing comes along. I make my way slowly back towards the flight lieutenant's office. I'm being careful not to trip on any bits of mortar lying around me. I don't like the way that they are looking at me. They look menacing, dangerous. Some are levitating. I don't know how. Must have something to do with similarly charged magnetic forces caused by the explosion that is making the bits of mortar repel from the surfaces that once spawned them and making them float. One hits me in the head. It knocks me to the floor. There is blood oozing from my head now. It's beginning to clot. And from the clots grow shapes that get up and move around. One of the blood clots picks me up. It takes me above the stars and shows me the world. It looks terrible, covered in a dark grey fog. All land and sea completely obscured. I could not tell that this was Earth if I did not know it was Earth. And then the blood clot drops me, and I fall. Though, out here in space, it does not feel that I'm falling, more that the world is coming towards me, that I'm calling it like a faithful little dog. Eventually I hit the cloud cover. It is hard. However, not rock solid enough for it to shatter my bones instantaneously, but instead it compresses, before expanding, ejecting me thousands of miles back out into space. I vomit. I continue to vomit until I puke out the tea. When I finally do, I swallow it down again. The caffeine brings me back to life. I pick myself up off the floor of the flight lieutenant's office, away from the pool of blood. I put my hand to my wound to stem the bleeding. Sir, you've got to tell everyone, sir, I speak. The flight lieutenant is puzzled. It never takes much. Tell them what, old bean? You've got to warn everybody about the alien fleet, sir. Self-doubt settles in nice and snugly. It shuffles around in the bed for a few minutes, admittedly, but as soon as it's found that position which is comfortable enough, I know that it's not going to be budged. What alien fleet? Stop babbling, boy. Yes, sir. Sorry, sir. I pause. You don't know what it's like to be in outer space. It takes your breath away. I catch it. Sorry about that, sir. When I was out in the craft just then, sir, I heard this beeping sound, sir. Then, when I was pushing random buttons, trying out how to fire, I heard them speaking. It must have been a radio or something. The flight lieutenant is amazed. A radio in a plane? What a jolly clever idea. But why? I don't understand. Who would you need to talk to? Yes, well, I didn't manage to listen to all of it. I was trying not to crash the craft, but I heard them say that they were going to send out a large fleet of airships to destroy us all. We must do something, Flight Lieutenant, and we must do it now. Well, what do you suggest? I suggest that you get on the wireless and tell everybody to get underground or as far away from any towns, cities, and large groups of people as possible. And I want you to repeat that message in as many languages as you possibly can. Straight away, sir, says Flighty. He is getting things a bit confused, at least I think he is. What is bothering the lieutenant even more, though, is that he can only speak English, more or less. He won't be able to follow my orders, though, and he won't have the ingenuity to find someone who can. That'll teach me right for trying to take control when I really shouldn't. In the meantime, I'm going to say hello to some old pals of mine in outer space. The flight lieutenant is close to cracking by now. The flying bits of mortar have been hitting his much more robust body, and it is growing spiderweb-like cracks. I give it 2, maybe 3 more hits before he shatters completely. What are they doing out there? I lean over the table. Blood from my head pools on the surface. I can see my own reflection. The room itself appears to be growing clouds of my own blood. Preparing to kill us all, sir. They can't be that good friends of yours then, surely. Cheerio, I say, before dashing out of the room. Chapter 22. William Seeks Vengeance. We are no more than 20 minutes into space now, but I feel that it is time for the humans to pay. Skirnage is right, and what he said to me earlier has stuck in my head. It is the ray of sunshine that I need to hold on to now. My belief has been encapsulated in his little statement. It is our world. We must fight for it. Perfectly stated. I reach over for the microphone. I make sure that it is the security chief that I am talking to. It is Yurtjuk, your presence, sir. Baffled slightly by what he has just said, I take my turn to speak into the microphone. Tell the... Even to this very moment, I cannot help but think of my people as a nation. Just a small, unified group of people on one island amongst many, populated by others. No, I am not in charge of just one ship. I am in charge of many. One ship may be a nation, but what do you call a fleet of civilians? We are not a world anymore. Tell my people that the time has come. The time to claim our world is now. Tell them, and I look at Skirnage when I say this, tell them Earth is our world and we must fight for it. There is no sign of appreciation on Skirnage's face. It is as if he has not even heard what I have just said. Yes, sire, is Yurtjuk's reply. Sir, I want a fleet organized and ready by the time we are back. I want it sent off to Earth when I arrive. Will this be possible? Sir, you know that we have been prepared for this moment, but sire... Good. Then there should be no delay. Sire, it appears that you are being followed. It appears that one of the moves we sent out earlier is returning. But sire, what has happened about the other 2? I sit back to contemplate this for a moment. It has to be the human. But why? What can he achieve? I lean back towards the microphone. Unfortunately, not so simple as it sounds. Though this is a 2-seater smooth, the microphone is positioned in front of the driver. Now, I am not driving. It is Skirnage, which means that I have to lean into him every time I need to speak into it, blocking his view of the monitor in front of him. Not a very well-designed smooth, but luckily, in space, there is nothing much to hit. I want a security team there waiting for him when he arrives. But why, sire? And where are the other 2? He is not one of us. The others are dead. Sire, I don't understand. Just make sure that there is a security team ready for the second move. Sire, I personally will head that team. Good. Now get that fleet sorted, now! I end the transmission. Skirnage slightly relieved that he is now able to fly properly. I turn to him. How's it going? It's been a good journey so far. We are making good time. You were right, you know. This time he turns to me. This time he acknowledges the power of his words. Thanks. I relax into my seat. The earth won't be ours. It is ours. How quaint. General outro. Right, well, there's no general notes, and also no psychologist chair this time, due to a mutual decision made in the last episode. However, it's kind of taking the podcast away, and this is just becoming a glorified audiobook, so I guess I should fill in the space. Weather's been nice today, but it was raining a bit earlier. No. I should take this opportunity to do something that I really haven't done before, and that's to tell you to subscribe to this podcast, rate it highly, and leave a nice review. And tell others about this podcast. It's not for everyone, but I'm sure you have a friend who would like to know. If you're new to this podcast, check out the other episodes. It's a story after all. Make sure that you know what's going on. And what do we have to look forward to next week? Ginger falls asleep in space. But watch out, because next week is a long chapter. Until then, TTFN. And just in case you're wondering, all text was written by me, Daniel's Nemesis, and XBook is purely a work of fiction and is not meant to be based on anyone or any events at all. The music was also by me, Daniel's Nemesis, as was the image that accompanies this podcast. It sucks, doesn't it? But there we go. Oh, light's on. I guess this is working. Hello? 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 Is this what you do? You treat me like that, punish me, brutalize me, and then leave me alone. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be home. I want Dee Dee. I want my car. I want to fly around. This place is a prison. I don't know why you brought me here. Why don't you listen? Where are you? Get me out. Just get me out. Fuck you all.